one of the top economists of the world, with such experience from 1980 to recent. All the years with the government of India, all posts. Before you, thank you, Dr. Kapani, for bringing in. Thank you, Sardar Sahib, for coming and joining us. Thank you. God bless you. So as announced earlier, Dr. Harjot Kaur will now please also look into the time. Thank you.
Thank you. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I'd like to share with you all a little bit of the history of Sikh Dharma International 3HO through the eyes of what the legacy of the Siri Singh Sahib by Sahib Harbhajan Singh Khalsa Yogi Ji, also known belovedly as Yogi Ji. Yogi Ji had a friendship with Dr. Kampani that spanned several decades, and so had he been alive, he definitely would have been here for sure. So as we're talking about public service, role models for change, I wanted to highlight Yogi Ji's organization and how he viewed public service through his organizations. And with the passing of Yogi Ji, the Yogi Ji's organizations are in two wings, headed under the Siri Singh Sahib Corporation, which is a 17-member committee that oversees the for-profit wings, East, West, T, and Akal, and then also oversees the non-profit wings, Kundalini Research Institute, Sikh Dharma International, Sikhnet, that all of you know, Gurmastak Singh was here yesterday, SDEI, and 3HO and LYF. Those are all the nonprofits that we oversee. So public service in the perspective of the Siri Singh Sahib and also in the perspective of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj is one of the pillars of Sikhism, because Guru Sahib gave us Bani, Bana, Seva, Simran. And the component of Seva was very important for the Siri Singh Sahib Ji, Yogi Ji, as well as Bibi Ji, who is present here as well. And both of them emulated that spirit of Seva, and that permeates all the organizations to this date. So we have a component of Seva amongst all our organizations. And what I'm going to highlight in this talk is the worldwide efforts for Seva, public service to the public and humanity at large, and also service within the Sikh diaspora as well as interfaith. In South Africa, this is an example of an organization, Yoga for Alex. This is a program set up by yoga students in South Africa where they teach grade 5 to 7, 2,000 students in 5 schools. They're serving underprivileged populations, and they're teaching yoga class in schools, yoga, meditation. Kundalini Yoga has that trifold effect of the asana, the mantra, and the pranayam, the breath, the mantra, and also the asana. And so the goal of this is to help students who are underprivileged deal with the stress and anxiety of life, to help them in school, but also to help them achieve things later on in life. This is an organization in India where East West Tea Company wants to give back to the communities that they use or they utilize, where they get services from. This is an orphanage in Hyderabad, and one of the European managers of East West Tea knew of a couple who was funding an orphanage there. There are 20 girls in residence, and Yogi Tea is sponsoring 5 of these girls and also giving funding for education for 40 others. This is a project where they are serving in Central America in Honduras. And this is a village, a very small village in Honduras where Yogi Tea has been sourcing their cardamom for the tea. And they've been sourcing it for over 15 years. The village and the cardamom fields are very far away from the town, and the villagers need to cross this river every day to go into town. And so what Yogi Tea went and asked the villagers and the cardamom, the farmers, what could we do to change your life? And they literally said, if you built us a bridge over this river, over this creek, that will literally change our lives. So this bridge was built for the community, and they named it the Yogi Bridge. In Chile, in South America, there is a program called Langar Chile, and their motto is serve the world and serve yourself. Started by some yoga students who were offering langar to underprivileged peoples and also free yoga classes. Started in 2005 in Santiago, Chile, but expansion to several other cities in Chile. This is another project in South America in Belo Horizonte, and this is a project where Kundalini Yoga teachings and humanology teachings are given in prison, and this is an unguarded model prison. And so it is a form of rehabilitation and resocialization for these individuals. And now it is state government recognized, and also if they participate in this program, their sentences are also reduced. So giving back to those that are underprivileged. We talked about children and how there are medical models talking about adverse childhood events and how that affects your health for the future. And so here in Belo Horizonte in Brazil, underprivileged children are taught Kundalini yoga and breathing exercises in the daycare. And one of the daycare supervisors says, when we see you in your turbans coming to teach, we get much relief knowing that the kids will be calm and happy. Our job is facilitated. This is another project in South America, in Brazil, in Belo Horizonte, and this is a psychiatric assistance program to socially isolated and excluded individuals working in the slums or the favelas. And this allows individuals the opportunity for socioeconomic improvement as well. And in this program, it started with one individual. It was started for one individual, and now we have 600 people who we are serving in this way. And one of the trainees in this program actually said, we feel the environment of respect. We are neither rich nor poor, healthy or unhealthy. We are humans. This program is Food for Kids, and this is done by 3HO of New Mexico, started by Gursimran Kaur. And in New Mexico, this is where Yogiji's headquarters is. This is the area where it is the #1 place for child poverty and child hunger in United States. And so Food for Kids is serving food to these children for the weekends. These children are getting their breakfasts and lunches at school, but when they go on the weekends, oftentimes they would come back to school having not eaten for the entire weekend. So this program was started by Gursimran Kaur, and currently it is serving 411 children in 7 schools in northern New Mexico. What she does is she takes a can of beans, can of juice, milk, some fresh fruit, cheese sticks, granola bars, puts them into bags, and that picture of all the bags is in our Langar Hall there in Espanola, and those are loaded and then delivered to the schools on Friday mornings. In this picture, I just wanted to highlight the International Khalsa Council meetings happened just 2 weeks ago, where the Khalsa Council members also went to help package the food, and then we formed a Seva chain to pass all the food to be loaded onto the trucks. In North America also, we celebrate in the summer Peace Prayer Day in northern New Mexico in the mountains, and that was started by Yogiji as well. And so in coordination with 3HO as well as Yogi Tea or East West Tea Company, there are Live to Give grants. And the 3HO is a non-profit governmental organization. in consultative status with the United Nations Economic and Social Council. And so they live to give grants, giving back to the community who are serving and uplifting others in humanity. And in this particular picture, the gentleman in the center, he was a drug addict who changed his life by practicing Kundalini yoga and wanted to give back to his community. And so he started a Navajo bee project where they take bees and help recolonize the Navajo land with bees and helping with pollination and agriculture. The lady standing beside him is one of the recipients for Yoga for Youth, one of our other organizations that teaches Kundalini yoga and humanology, Sikh practices, to the youth. I wanted to look at Seva in the Sikh diaspora from our organizations. And in Los Angeles, all of you will know from California, we celebrate Vaisakhi. And the miracle of it is that we all come together, all the gurdwaras in California come together to celebrate Vaisakhi.